Hello there, my name is Mudassir and welcome to this lecture. So this is a quick lecture on a few topics related to project management. So first up, we're going to have a look at what is a project. So let's quickly get started. So project here is defined as a temporary organization that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. So let's try to break this definition down into bits and pieces and try to understand it one by one. Right. So it's calling the project as something that's temporary. So temporary as in it has a definite start and an end time. Right. So if a project is starting at some point in time, it has to come to a halt at some other point. Right. It cannot be a permanent ongoing thing. That's what it means. Then it says it calls it as a temporary organization. So organization, if we have a look at the literal meaning of what an organization means group of people, group of individuals, or group of resources that come together to achieve a common goal, right? And let's say resource A, B, C, and D from different departments, they have been brought together to achieve a common goal. So let's say this A resource has been bought from IT. The resource B is from, let's say, finance. Let's say C is from HR, and let's say D is from sales. Right? What does it mean when it says temporary organization? It means that once they have achieved what they were supposed to, then there is no this organization is no longer required, and they'll be released back to their own departments. Right. And why is this organization created? It's created for some purpose, and that purpose is to deliver some products to the customer. It can be one or it can be more. Right. So that is the whole purpose behind having a project, behind creating this whole organization and stuff. Right. And these products, generally speaking, the business products are of two types. Okay, one is called as a specialist product, and one is called as a management product. Okay, specialist products are, to cut it short and to make it easier to understand, it's simply the actual output of the project, what the project produces, right? So the actual product, the actual output that the project produces is called as a specialist product. Is that clear? So basically, the specialist word is basically used because every project has a special, unique output, and that is what basically this specialist means. So the actual output, for example, in our examples of projects, we have a construction of a building. So this building at the end of the project is the output, right? So this is the specialist product. If we are hosting an event, that hosting of that event is the actual output. So this is the specialist product. If you're developing a software, right, that software or that application at the end is the output from the project, and hence we call it a specialist product. And management products are the things that are going to help you in managing the project, that are going to help you in creating this specialist product. So things like your documentations, your plans, your reports, business case, project plans, project reports, and all those things that are, in short, going to help you in achieving this specialist product are called as management products, right? And all this is done according to an agreed business case. So business case means it's actually a bigger topic to discuss, but I'll just cut to the chase here, and just remember that business case is a document that contains the business justification. Business justification means what is the justification for this project? Why do we need it? What is the need for this project? What is the reason this project is being taken up? Right? So any entity, if it's taking up a project, there should be a reason behind it. Right? It cannot be a mundane activity. Unnecessarily, anyone wouldn't want to invest their time and money and efforts into something. So they should get some output out of it. Right? So that is the justification. Why we are taking up the project is written inside what's called as a business case. The business justification is recorded in there. All right. And agreed term here means it's agreed between all the stakeholders, the concerned stakeholders, basically. So what is a stakeholder? Stakeholder you can think of as anyone who is in any way linked to the project. This is what a stakeholder is. It's like it's a very generic term, we can say, right? And anyone can be a stakeholder. It's like somebody who's not even linked to the project directly, but he's in some way or the other getting affected by the project. He's also a stakeholder. So somebody who's directly or indirectly getting affected, positively or negatively impacted by the project, he's getting directly impacted, or indirectly he is directly associated with the project or not even associated with the project, right? He can be a stakeholder. So project managers, customers, users, vendors, XYZ. So these are basically all stakeholders, right? So it's a very generic term and anyone can be a stakeholder. So what it means here is according to an agreed business case. So agreed between all the concerned stakeholders. So every stakeholder who has a say on the project, they should agree to this business case. Then only the project can be taken up. So if they find out that yes, it's a viable, desirable, and achievable project, and basically the costs are not outweighing our benefits, so this should not happen. So whatever you're investing, you should get more out of it, right? So returns should be more. And basically risks also should not outweigh your benefits, right? So the risks should not be high in the project and costs also should not outweigh your benefits. Then it's a viable, desirable, and achievable project and it should be taken up, right? So these are some of the examples of a project. So construction of a building, moving the office, hosting an event, creating a product, developing a software and application and stuff, right? So this is basically, these are some of the examples of a project. Now, in the beginning itself, we saw that project is called as a temporary organization. Temporary means so it has a start and an end time. So it's not a permanent ongoing thing. Then what is the permanent activities? What are the permanent activities called that are employed as part of every organization, right? For example, a bank. So when we talk about a bank, the normal day-to-day routine activities that we can see in the bank, they are basically people go in, they deposit money, right? They withdraw cash, they apply for loans, they take security bonds and blah, 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 right? So these are basically the examples of what a routine activity would look like for a bank, right? So these routine activities, which are permanent, that means as long as that organization exists. So in our bank example, as long as the bank exists, these normal routine activities, people withdrawing cash and depositing cash and stuff, this is basically going to exist till the bank exists. So it's not a temporary thing, it's a permanent ongoing thing. As long as the organization exists, those permanent activities, day-to-day activities will continue to exist. And those activities are called as business as usual activities, the normal operational activities, right? It's also called as BAU. Okay, so business as usual is the permanent ongoing thing as part of every organization. And normally what happens is a project, when it is taken up, it runs parallel to a business as usual. This is normally, not always the case, but normally this is how it is. So if an organization takes up a new project, the business as usual runs parallelly and this project is taken up as an enhancement. All right. And that runs parallelly to your business as usual activities. And once that project is completed, it has produced what it was supposed to, what it was intended to, then it delivers and delivers that output. And then the users who are part of the organization, they start using that output, that specialist product that the project has produced. Let's have a look at it in the next slide. So this is what I was talking about, right? So we have basically the specialist product, that is the actual output that the project has produced. And this basically is, this basically comes in your project area. So like I told you, we have two areas as part of an organization, that is the business as usual area. And the other one is the project area, right? So business as usual, this is the permanent one. As long as the organization exists, the business as usual activities will keep on existing, right? And this project can then be taken up parallelly as an enhancement, right? In some cases, business as usual activities, if this project is, hampering the business as usual, then in that case, basically we can, stop the business as usual activities if that is what actually is required. But normally this is how it is. The business as usual and the project run parallelly. Once the project is completed, and it's ready with the output, it's ready with the specialist product, it's then handed over to the users. So these users in our bank example would be the employees of the bank, right? So let's say this, let's elaborate this example a little bit to make it easier to understand. So what I mean is this bank again, right? So let's say these day-to-day routine activities are happening, right? But the employees and the customers basically of the bank are not happy with the service. The users of the bank, that means the users, the employees of the bank, they're also not happy with the way they have to work. Basically, the infrastructure that they're having, it's becoming very old and it's about to go obsolete. All right, and an activity that should take them 15 or 20 minutes is taking them 1 hour because their devices are very slow, right? And because of this, what's happening is the customers are basically becoming frustrated. They're getting lined up and they're not happy with the way things are going on, right? So what they want to do is, the management has now decided, management in the bank has decided that they will basically get this whole infrastructure replaced with a brand new one, right? So they're looking to get this updated. So what they're going to do is they're going to take up a project which will change the whole infrastructure for them. And then once that new infrastructure is ready, they'll then hand over that to the users, to the employees of the bank, and they'll start using it, right? So let's say the project is taken up and it's completed, the specialist product is ready, the new infrastructure is ready, and it's handed over to the users, to the employees of the bank, and they start using it. After they start using the end product, the specialist product that the project has produced, they should, right? They should definitely experience some sort of a change after using the end product. That change necessarily should come. Then only we say the project is successful. So what do I mean by change? So that activity which was earlier taking them 1 hour is now, should now take them essentially 15 to 20 minutes only, right? Then only we can say that the project is a success, right? So this change that they feel, that they should feel, is the outcome of the project. If this change doesn't come, that means the project hasn't delivered, right? Even if the project is completed and we have the infrastructure ready with us and blah blah blah, but because there is no change in the way things are happening, then that means the outcome of the project is zero. Okay, and this change should definitely come. So there is a difference between this output term and the term outcome, right? So output is the specialist product, right? And outcome, we can say, is kind of a subset of output. You have this outcome once the output is used by the users, and they start, what they feel, the result out of using that product is called as an outcome. And like every thing in the world, it has, this change also has basically two sides. So every coin has two sides. So we have a positive side, we have a negative side as well. So positive side or positive change that you experience after the project is delivered is called as a benefit. And the negative things that you would have to experience are called as disbenefits. All right. So benefit and disbenefit, both the things you have to carry along, right? And you have to see that these benefits outweigh your disbenefits. Then only it's worthy to take up a project, right? If the disbenefits are more, then there is no fun in taking up a project. And basically, this is what you would write inside a business case when you're preparing a business case and you justify your project to your stakeholders. This is what you're going to mention in your business case, right? This is what you're going to make them understand, right? So this is the benefit that we are going to get. These are the changes that we are expecting to get once the project is completed. So these are the benefits that we are expecting, and these are the disbenefits, right? So if the benefits are more than the disbenefits, benefits are outweighing your costs, and your risks are also lesser than the benefits, then in that case, you take up the project, right? So benefits in our bank example could be, better customer satisfaction, and employees are happier and things like that, right? And disbenefits, maybe we can say increased power consumption because of new additional infrastructure or whatever, right? And because of this new IT infrastructure, you have to hire new guys and blah, blah, blah. So these are some of the disbenefits that you can think of. So this is basically what a project is about, what a business as usual is. Hope these terms are clear. We'll come up with some more terms in this project management, and we'll see you there in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.